Hey YouTube, how you doing? Destroyer here, bringing you another in-game build for Heroes of Order and Chaos. And so today I'm going to bring you the in-game build for Cyclops, the tower diving tank. And as you can see, I'm using his new skin that just came out, the Slaughter Chef, which I love it. Skin's so cool. The best thing I love is in this third skill right here. Pops up and, I mean, what's cooler than that? Look at Hams circling around him. So anyways, let's jump right in. So as I told you, Cyclops is basically a big meat wall that has two stuns. One's an AoE stun, so I really suggest if you're going to play him, use him as a tank. But I'm also going to come out with a build for Fighter Cyclops, which is more of a bruiser. After this video, I'll upload it later. But however, when I start a match with Cyclops, I usually have Born Rich on, which if you don't know what that is, that's in my talents, which I'll put that down below in the description. So Born Rich gives me an extra 150 gold to work with. So I buy 2 Squire's Patience, and then I go to my consumables, and I'll either buy 1 or 2 healing spices, or I'll buy 1 healing spice, 1 word. And this just helps me, you know, early game, if I get into trouble, I can activate that healing pot and maybe survive the extra couple hits. So I'm going to sell those off real quick. Now the first item I usually buy is Boots of Haste to increase my speed so I can initiate that second stun. Then I buy Light Cavalry Hat, which gives me 250 HP to make me a bit more tanky. And then I buy a Black Alchemist cape or suit. This makes me more defense, and then I'll upgrade both of those items into a Los Hermitis cape, which causes an AoE damage around me. That's why it's so beneficial. So as Cyclops, you want to get in the middle of all 4 people and use that ulti, your AoE stun. At this point in the game, you should be around level 6 when you get the Hermitis cape. So it's very beneficial after you get the cape to initiate your ulti to get those stuns off. Now the next item, it depends, and usually because there's more fighters in the game, you usually have more of attacker coming after you or whatnot. So I start building into the Hades, which I buy some Raven's Mail, and then after I buy the Raven's Mail, I buy the Cloak of Dragon's Blood, which gives me 400 extra HP. And then I'll increase both of those items, if I can, into a Hades armor. Now the next item I start building, because usually there's a couple mages out there, but you go to defense and you'll go to mage defense, and you'll buy a Claiming Cloak, which is 50% 50 points of magical defense. So we'll buy that, and then after that we'll increase that into this Spirit Cape, which gives me just a little bit extra HP. And then I usually sell this and buy some wings. And I know you're like, oh, well, why would you buy the wings? Well, Cyclops actually can do quite a bit of damage. And plus it's beneficial to build the Dolvine Shield, which I'm going for, which is right here. Now, what's cool about the Dolvine Shield is when you activate it, it restores 15% of all your allies within 8 meters, max HP. This is a very beneficial item that Cyclops can use. So I increase the Dolvine Shield, and sometimes if there's more mage defense, which typically is not, I'll buy this, the Valkyrian Robe, and the reason because it gives a shield, activates a shield. But I don't need this right now, so because I'm going to have more of a fighter, which would be the game we're in, so I'm going to go to max HP. I'm going to buy another Cloak of Dragon's Blood. Then I'm going to sell my Squires, and the item we're ultimately building to is the Steering Souls, and this gives me extra 900 HP. and it also gives me extra attack by how much HP I have. So we're gonna buy this item, which here is a Relevant of Rejuvenation, which gives me extra HP on top of that, and then we're gonna upgrade into the Steering Soul. Now the next item I typically finish off is my boots, if I haven't already. Now boots are, like I said, they're determined depending if you're having more trouble or not. You can either go chain boots, savage boots with him, or even boots of Tempest, but I mainly use chain boots because you want to get close enough to get that stun, especially if they have a Grey Witch and somebody who has a lot of slows. You want to be able to activate in there faster. Now the last item I typically build is I buy a Raven's Mail, and I'll increase the Raven's Mail into into this Cuirass right here, which gives me 60 physical and 60 magical defense. Now you don't have to buy the Raven's Mail first. You could buy the cloak first. Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed that, depending on if you have more mage, but I usually build that, and then I'll increase this item into a Farseer's Cloth, which gives me extra magical and physical defense the longer I stay alive. So it's a very beneficial item. Now this last item right here that I built, Farseer's Cloth, it can be switched out with many different items because the role of a tank is kind of complex. So a couple other items that I suggest would be Cloak of Choking Words, and the reason I suggest this one is because when you activate it on an enemy, it silences that enemy for 3 seconds. So if you're getting beat by a mage such as Aquila or Inquisitor, you know, you can silence them for that 3 seconds where your team can get off a stun and they don't kill your carry and such like that. Now another item I suggest building is this one, the Blind Angus. Now if you're going against, like I said, another physical carry that's doing a lot of damage, such as Arya, Wind Dancer, or Elf, you know, they're doing a lot of damage to your carries and stuff. This one, when you activate it, it slows down their attack speed. So if you think about it, 0.5 slows it down for 3 seconds. That means for each second you're gonna get 5 hits off as Cyclops compared to their 1. Same thing, even if your carries are even faster, it's gonna get that attack speed lower on your opponent. That's why I suggest this one. Well guys, stay after I got the tablets. Please tell me if this was beneficial. And thanks for watching. See y'all later. Hey YouTube, how you doing? I'm gonna quickly go over some tablets that I suggest for Cyclops, and some of these tablets are more tank tablets because that's what Cyclops is. So the first tablet I suggest is the Purity Tablet. This tablet is good for Cyclops because it reduces all damage by 10% when his health is below 50. I really suggest this tablet, the Tablet of Toxicity, is because when somebody casts a skill on you, so when you're slowed by Elf or Phase, you know, drops one of its mines or something like that, it does damage to that caster by 12 times the character's level, and it can be triggered every 3 seconds. So this tablet is very beneficial, not just with Cyclops but also with tanks. I suggest the Assistance Tablet, and a couple other I suggest is the Immortality, here's a good one too, the Courage Tablet, which every time you're stunned reduces damage you take, and the Immortality Tablet, and this increases your healing by 40% when your health is at or below 20%. So please tell me, guys, how these tablets work for you, if it was beneficial, if it's helpful. Please write down in the description, like and subscribe, and thanks for always watching. Destroyer out.